Yo, 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 yo. What up, what up, what up, people? Welcome back to another edition of Mike on Sports. I am your host. I go by the name of Mike Gross, man. Big ups to that 501 and that 317. We back in the building. And man, we got some things to talk about tonight. But before I get started, man, let me go ahead and bring on the guest that I have on the show today. My guy out of Georgia, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? Liz Low, what's the business? Ah, nigga, you on me. My bad, my bad. Try it now.
What's happening? What's happening? Everything kosher this way, man.
Already. And I got a very, very special guest. Y'all might know him, y'all might not, but I think if you're in the boxing world, you pretty much know him. He go by the name of H Money, Mr. The Zone. What's going on, homie? Can't
Thank
mute
you.
just because choose to mute themselves. Oh, nigga, I'm you, H Money.
Oh, my bad. What's up with it, Mike, man? It's good to be on the show, man. Shout outs to Liz Low, man. The family's back together, man. It's good, man. We blessed right now.
I
What's up?
appreciate you being on the show, man. I just got to tell you, bro, yo, the change you made, man, is really eye opening. You know what I'm saying? I really respect it. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like you done calm down a whole lot and really got your head on straight.
Right
Hell
on.
yeah. You know, you live and you learn, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to improve, you know what I'm saying? And, stay focused and do the right thing right now.
Well, quick rundown of the topic today, man. We got to talk about a little bit about Errol Spence today. He was on All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and my guy Steven Jackson. Also, we got to talk about Keith Thurman. He went live with we go live with the Source magazine, and we got to get into a little bit Derek Chisora and Usyk, Jamal Charlo and David Benavidez, and we're gonna end it off with talking a little bit about Deontay Wilder. But first thing first, did y'all see Errol Spence on the All the Smoke podcast today?
Yep, I checked him out.
How did you like that episode?
I liked it, man. It was real good. He was being honest. He was talking about staying in the gym and staying active. He's saying he's eating healthy now, and he lost 15 pounds in training. So, I'm impressed with Earl Spence, man, taking his craft very serious at the moment.
Yeah. One a couple of things that I took from the interview that I thought was very interesting. Like you said, he says he lost 15 pounds, and he also says he cannot spar because he has those posts in his mouth due to the dental surgery. But he did give us a date to where he'll be coming back like October, November. So that's always good. But I'm glad to see Errol Spence really, like, it seemed like this Rick done like woken him up, you know what I'm saying? Like really got his mind focused on boxing. He was telling Matt Barnes, he was getting up to like 185 in and out of the ring. So to hear him say that he lost 15 pounds and he's just training. I think that's good. That's good for Earl and it's good for the sport.
Yep, I agree with you both. Cause like when we get these big fights, I want everybody at their 100%. You know what I mean? First and foremost that the man was safe. Cause like he said, to even come out of that, like that's like, come on, man. Like how many
Yeah.
of us really would have walked away from some stuff like that?
Man, I'm a motherfucking goddamn example of nigga not walking away from something like that.
100.
You know what I'm saying? So
So I'm glad he
yeah.
all right, man. I hope he go into this fight and everything. I'm glad actually we got this good layout. So everybody can get a good, you know what I mean, rest in.
That's
And
what he brought up too. He like this coronavirus kind of like a blessing for him because
yeah,
he's able to train and kind of like recover too because not being able to spar is like a big deal.
right. Right. So he gotta see how he gonna take them punches. Like, but I'm wishing the best for him though, man. I want a full recovery. Hope everything's working for him good. So when time comes, he'll be able to perform and we all can get these fights we want.
And we pretty much know that the Danny Garcia fight is going to be the fight that he coming back to. What y'all think about that fight? Do you think Danny can maybe surprise Errol Spence, or is it just like a fight to make sure Errol Spence is sharp and he's still the guy that we thought he was? Well, we think he is.
Well, I think that's going to be a good test for Earl Spence. I'm not going to say that's like a cherry pick fight. We know Danny Garcia is a former unified champion, a former welterweight champion as well. never been knocked out before. I think that's a good fight for him. I just think Errol Spence is a better fighter, but that's a good fight for us to judge where he's at right now. You know what I mean? So, I favor Spence in it, but it's not a cherry pick fight. It's gonna be a tough fight.
That's for damn sure. Like if he struggles with Danny Garcia, then it pretty much tells us all we need to know, and it gives credence to what Crawford was saying, I believe last week. Like I don't want to fight Errol Spence right now. I don't want to fight him off the wreck. I want to make sure the guy's 100% before we get in the ring with each other. So if he goes in and struggles with it, I'm not calling Danny Garcia a cherry pick or a easy touch, but let's be real, he's not up on the upper echelon of top welterweights. He's not a Sean Porter. He's not a Manny Pacquiao. He's not even a Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I would have to say that if Errol doesn't go out there and win 8-9 rounds, you know what I'm saying, then we might have something to talk about. What say you, Lizlo?
Okay. That ain't no joke, as we know. And again, Earl saying he had some teeth knocking out, meaning, Danny got that left. So that's you can never count that out. Danny, man, for a comeback fight too, I don't know, bro. That's pushing it more along the 50-50. You know what I mean?
You think it's a 50-50 fight?
Yeah, but you gotta think about it. Think about it. We haven't seen him since the accident.
Okay. But he said he went to Cleveland, had his MRI, had his CAT scan. Doctor said everything was lovely. No broken bones, no internal damage. Only thing he had was scrapes on his body.
Correct. But psychologically.
I mean, yeah, but he didn't get in a wreck in the ring. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like he wasn't driving in the ring when he got in the wreck. You feel me? So I feel like he probably had more psychological stuff going on when he is maybe driving or like riding around with people. But in the ring, it may be like his safe haven. Remember when Kobe Bryant went through his shit in Denver with that old girl, and the way he came back to the court was his motherfucking sanctuary. He was giving niggas buckets that playoff series. Real shit. Like he was in here killing dudes and had a trial going on. So
my thing is coming back to Danny. It's like I could see maybe like even a Ugas maybe, but it's pushing it more to the 50-50 for me.
All right, I feel you. What say you, Age Money? Do you think it's a 50-50 fight or is it Errol Spence 60-40, 70-30?
Maybe Errol Spence 70-30. I just like Spence skills, man. I love Spence skills, but like Liz Lowe was saying, it is like a pretty tough test for his first comeback fight after this accident. So I see what Liz Lowe is saying, but I just like Spence as a fighter. I think Spence is he's too big for Danny. I think Spence is on a different level. Like Mike said, you know what I mean? Danny's not on that upper echelon of top welterweights. But one thing about it is, maybe Danny is not the right comeback fight. I think that's what Liz Lowe is saying. Maybe he want to see him with another fighter, maybe like a tune-up type of fight, not a champion like Danny, you know what I mean? Well, I think he was rumored to be fighting another fighter. I think his name was Hall. It was I forgot his name though.
It's a Mayweather fighter?
Yeah, that Mayweather fighter.
Man, look,
Lee. Yeah,
that's his name.
They say they're gonna turn that's a sparring thing.
I'm finna say, bro, I ain't never heard of do it in my life until
he shot his shot though.
He tried, but I'm like, bro, you ain't even on the level yet. Like, go beat somebody like a Virgil Ortiz and get your name up or something. Go beat Jerron Anderson and get your name up or something. Go beat Ugas and get your name up or something. But to say you want to fight Errol Spence when we barely know who the hell you are. You're doing too much.
Came out the blue for real.
You're doing too much, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
I've been seeing his name floating around like recently. They got him linked to Errol Spence, so that's why
exactly.
But Mike, I know what you're saying. You want to see him in a competitive fight with a good fighter, but Liz Lowe was saying pretty much like, is he ready for that type of caliber fighter like a Danny? Maybe that's too much for him in his comeback.
Man, y'all call me a hater. Call me a hater. I don't give a fuck. What caliber is Danny? Who has Danny really beat at 147? Who has he stopped at 147? Ivan Redcat?
I think he beat his best win probably was Robert Guerrero. I believe that was his best win at 147.
Off a split decision, right?
Yep, I think it was. It was a close one. It was close.
But look though, right after the top welterweight, Spence, Crawford, Thurman, Porter, Danny right there.
Absolutely.
Danny's still right there.
But I just think Danny is tailor-made for Errol Spence. He's a come-forward fighter. It seems like his feet is kind of in the mud when he's moving around the ring. He's not very nimble. And I think, man, with the dedication that I'm seeing from Errol Spence, I just think that the Danny Garcia fight is a good comeback fight for him. I don't think it's an overly of him being in like any kind of danger by fighting Danny. I could be wrong. Danny could knock his ass out, and we can like say, "Oh shit, the wreck really had a effect on him." But at the same time, what if Errol Spence goes in there and looks even better than ever? You know what I'm saying?
How about this?
Go ahead.
How would you have felt if he would have took Josecito Lopez route?
I mean, Josecito Lopez got some clout. You know what I'm saying? He had a split decision with Thurman. Everybody seen him had Thurman ass rocked. Came back and beat John Molina. You know what I'm saying? Stopped John Molina ass. And I mean, he got a little buzz about him, but at the same time, Lopez is he's older. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him beating Errol Spence or even being really competitive. He was competitive with Keith, but I think Earl is on a different level with Keith.
My point.
Yeah, I think Earl's on a different level with Keith, though. I think Earl's on a different level, though.
True, but we would have saw that, though. You see what I'm saying? Then his next fight, I wouldn't have cared who he would have fought, just seeing how he would have. You know what I mean? I don't know. That Danny, man, I give him his props. But damn, that's a tough drink to be coming back for.
Hey man, some people got to do it how they do it. You know what I'm saying? Danny been pretty much wanting the fight for a minute now. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody knows that Danny after he fought Red Cat that he was looking towards the Errol Spence fight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the accident happened before the Red Cat fight, didn't it?
Yep, it happened before.
So that means that Danny already had he could have had his eyes set on something else, but the coronavirus hit and things like that. So
plus the layoff. Now we got a layoff. Yeah.
I mean, Danny really had a layoff too. Like, cause Errol fought in September 29th or 28th of last year. Yeah. And Errol gonna be out of the ring for about almost a year. Damn. That's a long layoff. But Danny
he still ain't been hit in the mouth yet. We gotta remember this.
Yeah, but he gonna get some good sparring though. We all know that. We all know that he gonna definitely get some good sparring in with Jamil Charlo. But real quick, man, let me bring this other guest on. The boxing source, man. Talk to me. I see your mic unmuted. Got something to say?
Not, hopefully y'all hear me good.
Yeah, man, you clear.
Brother Leslow was talking about the thing with Errol Spence and Danny Garcia, and he brought up the point of Errol Spence being bigger than Danny Garcia, and he's right. You're gonna have Errol Spence and now basically coming down to 147 against a Danny Garcia who had a good part of his career at 140, and now is at 147, and y'all went through like the resume of Danny Garcia at 147, and you had the question of who did he beat at 147. He's had his fights against Keith Thurman, where he lost in that unification fight. He lost to Sean Porter over at the Barclays Center for the WBC belt at the time. So it's like, he fought like a lot of guys at 140 and 147, but at 147, he doesn't have that significant win that pretty much puts him at the upper echelon of 147 right now. Like you have, 3 or 4 guys that are above him at 147, mainly because he's had those losses to Keith Thurman and Sean Porter. So him fighting Errol Spence, yeah, he might be tailor made for Errol Spence because Spence could use his length and his reach, and he's a bigger guy. So yeah, maybe Danny Garcia has that left hook or whatever it is, but he's throwing the left hook against a guy that's much bigger than he is. So Spence will be able to take some of those punches like he took the punches of Sean Porter, who is bigger than Danny Garcia, that comes down to 147. So
now, do you think that coming back against Danny Garcia is a good idea? And do you think that if they fight in November, that the layoff is going to affect Errol Spence more so than Danny Garcia?
now I think that Errol Spence will be prepared enough on November or to face Danny Garcia in November. I think that, like you were saying about Danny Garcia and how his fighting style is, he's somebody that, is a straightforward fighter, doesn't really move his feet that well. So, Errol Spence can pretty much, figure out where Danny Garcia is going to be. And it's not like Danny Garcia is somebody that's going to move his head that much or is a top-rated counterpuncher. So he does have, some instances where he can counterpunch, but it's not like he, will figure somebody out and then just say, okay, I could time this, and when I time this, I'm going to come back with, something else right back at it. And like I said, with Errol Spence having the size difference that, whatever Danny throws, I just feel that Errol Spence is going to be able to take those punches and, kind of walk him down like he's walked down a lot of the opponents that he's had.
Absolutely. Anybody else, guys? Anything they want to add to this Errol Spence and Danny Garcia topic before we move on?
I just want to say that I think Errol Spence is a much better fighter than Danny, and my only concerns is that he's been having a long layoff and he's dealing with that coming back from that accident. You know what I mean? I just was making sure that'll be the right fight for him. I think if it's any time for him to take a tune-up or, like a cherry pick type of fight, it'll be right now. You know what I mean? It'll be the perfect time for that. That's all. But I feel what you're saying, Mike. You want to see him against a little bit better competition, and Danny might not be that big of a threat. I'm just concerned about him a little bit. That's all.
And y'all got to understand, though, man, with this whole coronavirus epidemic, when boxing does come back, they can't afford to give nobody cherry picks. They can't afford to get nobody easy fights. They're going to have to put on good fights because they're going to be competing with basketball who's coming back, baseball who's coming back, and football. It's like it's all going to be all at the same time. And if you're putting on bullshit fights, you ain't going to get the viewership that you would normally get, in my opinion. But let's go ahead and move on, man. Let's see what we got. Me and Lizzo was talking about this shit earlier, but I'll wait till you guys watch the video.
You can kind of be tired, but at this level, man, we don't avoid fights, man. I've never avoided Spence. I've never seen a contract. I've never legitimately been offered. He can say whatever he wants to say after each and every fight. He's never went to Al Heyman and said, Al, write up the dang contract. Show it to me and show it to Keith. You know what I mean? Because when I asked for Danny, I got Danny. When I asked for Sean, I got Sean.
Hold on. We ain't done yet.
I got Sean. And I only called one man. His name's Al Heyman. I didn't do a lot. I didn't get on Twitter. I didn't have to talk to you to make a fight happen. I didn't have to talk to other outlets. You know what I mean? That's what I tell people, man. When people really want to fight, they can pretty much get the fight or at least request the fight. And then if the fight was requested and I said no, then that's a duck.
So pretty much, man, Lizzo hit me up this morning. It was like, man, who you say was on the show this morning, Lizzo? Take it away, man. Take it away. Because you know better than I do. You was like, Ronnie was saying that we gotta call
Shields. I'm sorry, Ronnie Shields.
Yeah. We gotta call Al to get the fights that we want. You know what I'm saying? Like Al makes the final decision on who we fight. But looking and hearing what Keith Thurman said, he was like, shit. If you really like the big dog and the star, and you want to fight, When I wanted Danny, I got Danny. When I wanted Sean, I got Sean. Pacquiao picked him, so we know he ain't really choose Pacquiao, but he's saying shit when he wants to fight, he gets to fight. So that leads me to think like these guys must not really want to fight Crawford. That's what I came back to. Like, if you saying all that, brother, and you saying like whatever fight that I want and I point to I get, why not fight Crawford? You know what I'm saying? Why not tell Al, bro? I don't give a fuck what the politics say. I want that guy over there, and that goes for Sean, for Earl, for Keith. And real quick, the full video, Keith Thurman talking about Crawford, Manny Pacquiao, and Errol Spence, it has been uploaded to the page, so you guys definitely check that out. But you guys take it away, man. Let me know what y'all think about that.
Go ahead, Ace Man.
For me, Mike, man, I just think, man, Keith Thurman is doing a whole lot of capping. You know, he's been capping. Just being honest, you know what I mean? Like, because it was about a week ago. 2 weeks ago, he said something about Terrence Crawford. Like, yeah, Terrence Crawford, you know what I'm saying? Send a contract. It's like, since this whole coronavirus stuff going on, now he started talking again. You know, he was quiet for a while after he took that ass whooping by Pacquiao, you know what I mean? So I just think, man, Keith Thurman got a big mouth. You know, I believe he ducked Errol Spence, and I'm just going by energy. Like, Errol Spence was calling for that fight for the longest. You know, he was on First Take. He was telling Stephen A. Smith, like, yo, the fight for me is Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was saying Terrence Crawford, but he's like, yo, me and Keith Thurman, we're both champions. We both fight on PBC. We got the same network. Let's make it happen. And around that time, Keith Thurman was just beating around the bush. He was tap dancing, man. He didn't want none of that. And he was like, yo, man, the time is not right. You know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting for the right time. And he waited until he got his ass whooped by Pacquiao. You know what I mean? So now we doing this, this coronavirus now. So he has nothing else to do but run his mouth, man. And to be honest, he reminds me of Antonio Tarver. Like, he talks a real good game. He talked a good game, but he didn't want that Spence fight. I just got to be honest.
Yeah, Florida boy, man. The boys from down Florida could talk, goddamn it. Roy Jones, Tarver, Keith Thurman, shit. The list goes on.
Yeah, man. But I just feel like, Mike, to be honest, he never wanted that Spence fight, and I still think he doesn't want that fight. You know, maybe because he's seen Spence get into that accident. Maybe now people are trying to line up and fight him, but I don't believe what Keith Thurman is saying, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like, you remember when Crawford first came? Yes, he did duck Spence, by the way. Obviously, when somebody tell you, "Hey, Mike, I want to fight you, Mike," and you turn your head left like you don't hear me, and we made eye contact, what? How I'm supposed to take that? If I come over there and tap you on your shoulder, "Hey, Mike," I said, "What's happening?" and you like,
my nigga, you want to see me doing a goddamn interview with nigga right now?
Like what I supposed to do? So when Bud first came up, and it was funny how that's why it's good they got footage, because you can always go back and watch what people said, talk all that cash money stuff. You need to do this, you need to do that. He ain't really fought nobody. It's like,
he should fight Amir Khan.
You came up with 6 excuses. Then y'all throw the promotion company into it. Then once the politics get into it, it makes the fans mad. Cause all we want is the fight, man. We with our eyes see who are the top 2, who the top 3, who the top 4, who the top 5. We know who we want to fight who. Everybody know the fight to be made now is Spence and Crawford. And the only thing that Spence and Crawford keep talking about is money. If they said the money right, the fight can happen. But the only thing is, Spence had the accident. We got to see what he looking like. Because when it comes to Crawford, and I am a Bud Crawford fan, I don't want nobody. I mean, I know ain't no fighter always 100%, but I want you closest to 100% as possible when you fight Crawford. Because it's like with the fans, they make it so personal. You know what I'm saying? I say, like, I go for Crawford, but I like Spence. It ain't like I like Crawford and I just dislike Spence. It's not like that. I love boxing. They are both great fighters. But when it come down to it, if I had to make a pick, I'm going to go with Bud Crawford, because that's who I feel will win. You understand? Now that Spence had the accident, which I hated that happened to that man. You understand? Even though he did come out how he did, but still, it's like if the fight happened, you know, it's gonna be, it's always that lingering. And then you got Keith, and I hope he he got a good long recovery, man. I hope he taking advantage of it. I hope he working out. I hope he got a coach and not working out like he did for the Pacquiao fight, he said, or the Josesito Lopez fight. I'm sorry, but I want everybody to be on their A game, so when time comes, we can know who is the last man standing. You understand? That's it.
Yeah, man. I totally agree with you. Know what I'm saying? Man, look,
Yeah.
man. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Now, in that clip with Thurman, that just, is a similar thing of what he was saying. What was it, about a year and a half, a couple years ago, with the same thing with Errol Spence. He was telling people, like, because people were claiming that he was ducking Errol Spence, and he was like, "Have you seen the contract? Have they sent me a contract?" But even with that, it's like y'all was saying, like, both of y'all are on PBC. So you mean to tell me that you couldn't really make a fight between you and Errol Spence while both of y'all are on PBC? I mean, you got, Danny Garcia that was willing to fight him in a unification bout. You had Sean Porter that was willing to fight Errol Spence in the unification bout, but you couldn't fight him in the unification bout. That just tells me a lot right there when it comes to Keith Thurman. And when he came back, he had that, fight against Lopez, and then he was able to snag the, money fight with Manny Pacquiao. And, with this whole thing with the layoff and the injury to Errol Spence, he's like, talking, as they say, out of the side of their neck. But hey, he is a Florida boy from St. Pete, from the St. Pete area, Pinellas County. So I mean, I know all about that. I'm from Hillsborough County area, so that's one thing on his side. But as far as like him, potentially fighting the likes of don't duck me, son. Him fighting the likes of Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford, like, why aren't you pretty much like Sean Porter? Sean Porter's like, I'll fight anybody. I don't care. Sean Porter's like, hey, he wants that smoke with Terrence Crawford, but Keith Thurman talking like this, like, come on, man.
My nigga, I somewhat agree, man. I just feel like now that Keith Thurman is not in the position of power as being a champion, maybe he will, you know what I'm saying, go after these fights. And he already lost his oath, so he's not protecting that anymore either. So hopefully we can get to see something later on this year. Maybe he was talking about possibly fighting Terrence Crawford, you know what I'm saying, if the contract is right and all this kind of shit. But we'll see, man. We'll see how it plays out with old Keith.
He also wants that rematch with Manny Pacquiao too.
Yeah,
so.
he ain't getting that though. So he can motherfucking kill that shit. He definitely ain't getting that fight. I'm just being real with you. Manny took his belt, and Manny like, nah, I'm about to go fight Mikey Garcia over here in Saudi Arabia and give me a nice ass check.
You know what? Manny did say, I think his exact word was like Keith he been hit the hardest by Keith.
Oh
and
yeah,
I was
shit.
like,
Keith caught him some shit.
At that age too, Pacquiao like, shit, I won. And you try to take that L, baby.
You ain't got nothing else for me, bro. Like, you ain't got no more belts over there. You ain't. I can make money with anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody.
So it's not like I took your belt, bro. Good luck.
Yep.
Go beat my mandatory or something. Like, by the time you get into the mandatory position, the guy will be 2 years retired. Real shit, because WBA don't do no mandatories. But let's go ahead and move on, man, to something that I want to talk about. That a fight that I really do not like, man. And it drives me fucking insane to see people try to make this fight, man. And I'm talking about Jamal Charlo and David Benavidez, man. I think that Jamal Charlo needs to focus on what's going on at 160. And I just think moving up to fight David Benavidez is not a good idea. Like, I'm a big David Benavidez fan. I think he is the best at 168. I don't give a fuck who's up there, Canelo included. We seen Canelo negotiate with Calvin Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, but he really didn't never bring up David Benavidez, you know what I'm saying? Because like most people who have good eyes, they can see that this young man right here is a motherfucking problem for anybody at 168. And for Jamal Charlo to move up and try to face him, I really don't think it's a good idea. I don't know if I'm in the minority with this, so I'm gonna pass it over to y'all while I go over to my community page and get that post out and really give y'all what the fans been saying.
Yo, I think, man, those are some big fights, Mike. To be honest with you, at 160 pounds, Jamal Charlo is the WBC world champion. He wasn't able to get those big fights at 160. I had talked to Fred about this from Barbershop Conversations the other day. He said he wants to see Charlo get that Canelo fight first. You know, he wants to see Charlo get that big money fight with Canelo, then possibly he moves up. But Charlo versus David Benavidez, I think that's a good fight. I think that's a big fight. Jamal Charlo, I mean, is about 6. He's about 6 foot. He's a big, strong kid. He's getting he's getting bigger, he's getting stronger. And I feel like David Benavidez versus Jamal Charlo is a super fight in the near future, But before we see Charlo versus Benavidez, I want to see Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. I want to see you feel me, Liz Lowe? I want to see a unification between David Benavidez and Caleb Plant, and Jamal Charlo gets the winner. And I think, man, PBC got these great fighters at 168. They got Caleb Plant, you got Jamal Charlo moving up, and you already got David Benavidez, undefeated fighter. He's about 22 years old, man. He got tremendous hand speed. He's about 6'2". He's a hell of a fighter. You know what I mean? But I do want to see that fight in the future. I think those are possibly the biggest fights that PBC can make. You know what I mean? Just as a fight fan, undefeated fighters. You got David Benavidez undefeated, Charlo undefeated, and Caleb Plant. Maybe some type of tournament. But the fight I want to see.
Let me ask you a question real quick, Agent Money, before you pass it off. Would you rather see Charlo fight Benavidez or Charlo take care of what's going on at 160 with Demetrius Andrade for the WBO title?
Yeah, I would love to see that Andrade fight, man, for sure, because the animosity in that fight been building up for years. We've been wanting to see that fight, Mike. We've been talking about it for a long time, and it's like, I don't know if that's gonna ever happen. You know what I mean? I don't know why. Eddie Hearn been trying to send offers to Charlo, from what I've been hearing, and Charlo, it seems like he has no interest in fighting Andrade. I'm
Charlo on his IG live to call Al. You know what I'm saying? Quit trying to contact me. Call Al.
Yeah, I think that they were talking. I don't know, man. That's the fight that we all want to see for sure. That's the fight at 160. We want to see Charlo versus Andrade, but I don't know if it's going to happen, Mike. So if that's not going to happen, maybe he moves up to 168 so we can see him in some big fights.
Got Chris Eubank Jr. down there at 160. Why move up to 168 and go against the best guy in the division? Move up when you're no longer can make the weight at 160. Why are we so hell bent of guys jumping up in divisions? Cause Canelo do it, cool. He the money man. He can do what the fuck he want to do because that's how boxing is set up. But for everybody else, why jump divisions if there's not like a big money fight for you? Benavidez, I love him. He a bad motherfucker, but is he a money fight? Is he a household name? No, hell no. Chris Eubank Jr. got more of a name than David Benavidez. Yeah. Let's keep it 100.
Yeah, you're right about that. But you know what, Mike? This what I'm saying, because he was on that call. He was on the phone with Anthony Durrell. You remember Anthony Durrell got knocked out by Benavidez. So I'm thinking he probably wants to avenge his friend's defeat, maybe, or maybe he looks at Benavidez as as a young fighter.
Durrell, bro. He don't give a damn about Anthony Durrell taking an ass whooping. Shit, everybody knew Anthony was gonna take an ass whooping. Everybody knew it.
Yeah, Mike.
From jump. We all knew that he was just holding Benavidez belt for him until he got back off that cocaine vacation.
Oh,
Real
so
shit.
so Mike, so Benavidez got busted with some cocaine or something like that. I didn't know about that.
He got
man.
he got popped like a urine test or something like that, and then he went to rehab and all that shit, and they put him in like champion in recess, and when he came back, he get to fight for his title.
Okay, I didn't know about that. But Mike, one more thing before I pass
That's
it.
why I fuck with him, man. Cocaine cowboy shit. The fuck out of here, nigga. Let's go. No, go ahead.
You know, one more thing. I heard Charlo in that conversation, he said something about Erickson Lubin. He mentioned how Lubin was a young fighter and he fought against his brother and he got knocked out. So he was trying to refer to David Benavidez like, you know, he's a young fighter like Lubin. The same thing is going to happen to him. Maybe do you think he's looking at him like,
man.
He a young fighter. He's
real
not
quick,
ready.
Man. I'm gonna go and kill that argument real quick. Lubin was not at 160, and Jamel Charlo was not moving up to fight Lubin at 160. Jamal Charlo is moving up to possibly fight the best super middleweight that we have in the world right now. And for you to do that, you gotta. To me, man, if you're gonna move up in weight, do what Andre Ward did. Fight Brand first. Fight Barrera. Then fight Kovalev. Get you 2 fights in at 168 so you can get acclimated to the weight. Don't just rush into a fight with Benavidez and shit. When he hits you, like, damn, I ain't no nigga hit this hard. Yeah, you up here with big boys now. You can't just not, you ain't fighting Dennis Hogan. You ain't fighting Brandon Adams and big ups to my guy Brandon Adams. But you ain't fighting these guys that you bringing up from 154. You ain't fighting the dude with fucking one leg that I can't remember his name. What the fuck his name is? The guy with one leg. The guy he had one leg. It was Jamal Charlo's first fight at 160. Dude had one leg, man. Y'all come on, bro.
George Sebastian Healing.
Yeah, Healing. That motherfucker had one leg. You ain't fighting Healing. You ain't fighting Centennial either. You fighting David Benavidez, bro. Come on, man.
Man, my whole thing is when it comes to these division fight, I don't know. I guess don't nobody want to be undisputed no more. Like, I mean, I ain't gonna say they don't want to. Let me not say that, because the politics obviously play a big ass role. But it's like that, and that's what's that was killing boxing for me. I'm just saying, as a fan, I don't want to know nobody numbers. I ain't trying to worry about how much somebody getting paid. I'm just a fan that want to see the two guys get in the ring and make it happen, man. And that should be making it stressful for just real fans. They just won't fight, bro. That's all we want, man. All that that prima donna bullshit, that A side, B side, like
my nigga, that's like motherfucking Miami back in 2010, 2011, telling San Antonio Spurs, man, y'all ain't really popular. Y'all don't sell enough, so we ain't gonna play y'all in the NBA Finals. What kind of shit is that, bro?
Hey,
come on, man.
Yeah.
Boxing does this too much, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, man. Hey, first off, shout out to David Benavidez having his little George Clinton impersonation a couple years ago. Number 2, Jamal Charlo told all of us to go check those numbers. So we better go check those numbers, according to him. But yeah, like him going up to 168 to fight David Benavidez, who has probably the fastest hands at 168 right now, is a big mistake. You know, y'all went through Jamal Charlo's resume at middleweight, and he really hasn't had that much of an impressive list of fights over at 160. He does need to fight Demetrius Andrade. He needs to prove that he at least can fight a Demetrius Andrade and beat Demetrius Andrade before he moves up to 168, because he's not going to get that fight with Canelo anytime soon, especially with Canelo going to face Gennady Golovkin above 160 pounds in September. Like, Canelo is going to be like 160. Like, what's at 160? Nothing's at 160. So he's going to be Canelo's going to be campaigning at 168 and 175 for a good amount of time as he fulfills that DAZN contract. And so with that being said,
that shit. He's not campaigning at 175. You can kill that shit right now.
Here's the thing with 175. I feel that he can at least beat Bivol at 175. He can't beat Benavidez at 175. He
Man,
can't.
you motherfucker think he beat Bivol. Bivol can punch, bro. All
Uh,
right. My
well,
guy can punch. And he even told them guys, like, bro, I come down to 168 and fight you. I ain't gotta be at 175. For
okay.
real. Like,
Here's my thing with Bivol, though. Real quick. One, I saw him in this fight over at the Atlantic City when he fought Chilemba. I wasn't impressed. When he
bro,
fought,
hold on. Whoa.
hey,
Name me anybody who look impressive against Chilemba. Chilemba took
okay,
goddamn it Kovalev fucking 12 rounds in his
okay,
native country of Russia.
okay.
Chilemba not a easy guy to fucking look good in front of, bro.
How about Pascal?
Have you not seen what Pascal been doing? At least he beat him. At least he beat him. Marcus Brown didn't beat him. Badu Jack didn't beat him.
But here's my thing with Bivol. If I feel like Bivol is that type of a solid fighter at 175, he needs to beat, and I mean beat, those type of guys. Like with Beterbiev, I see that in Beterbiev. I don't see that in Bivol.
Beterbiev like a different. He's a more natural 175 man. He's just different, bro. Like the motherfucker could punch hard as shit. He was a Olympian, and I mean he's highly titled. So I just think they're like two different kind of fighters. One thing I would say about Bivol that I think that he does better than Beterbiev. I think his distance, like measuring like distance, is better, and his boxing technique ability could be slightly better than Beterbiev. With that being said, Beterbiev hits a lot harder, and he always keeps that pressure on his opponents too.
Yeah, he'll try to walk everybody down like he, did in that unification fight. But yeah, back to Charlo. Like I still need to see if he's gonna, like y'all said. I mean, you got Chris Eubank there at 160 that he could fight, and and then after that, have that fight with Demetrius Andrade. I don't care what it takes. Just have that fight with Demetrius Andrade. Get that over with. And if you win that, then go up to 168 and then try to go after those guys. But if you haven't really proved without a shadow of a doubt that you are the best at 160, then why are you moving up to 168?
Canelo didn't prove it.
What, against Golovkin?
He didn't prove he was the best at 160. Everybody, because at that time, I believe that Billy Joe Saunders was the WBO champion, and Andre got that belt because of that. And he never fought his mandatory challenger in Jamal Charlo. He decided to become a franchise.
All right, real quick with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Billy Joe Saunders really wanted to fight Golovkin.
Yeah, he was signed.
It was like, he was signed. That was number one. And then number two, when Saunders had just won that WBO title, he wanted that smoke with Gennady Golovkin first. And they sent him an offer that was way too low, but then turned around and offered or had him fight Kell Brook for $5 million. And then even after that, they had him fight Daniel Jacobs when Golovkin could have fought for the undisputed middleweight championship, and he didn't want to do that. So Golovkin's only mission then was to fight Canelo for the big money. He didn't want to fight Billy Joe Saunders. So there was that. And then afterwards, Canelo really didn't consider fighting Billy Joe Saunders. And he could have fought Demetrius Andrade at that time because he had that Andrade fight he could have had. He had that Derevianchenko fight that he could have had. And then they nixed that because they wanted them to fight Kovalev for some unexplainable reason.
And he didn't fight Jamal Charlo either. He didn't fight. He
didn't fight Charlo
challenger.
Yeah, because of the whole thing with mandatory and how the percentages are with that. So they didn't make that fight. Yeah, so
no, it wasn't because of the percentages. Like everybody knew what they was gonna be getting. Like when you were mandatory, you know what you're gonna be getting, and it was because that Canelo's team. According to Mauricio Suleiman, you guys can go back and on the Boxing Voice and find that episode. But they petitioned to be WBC franchise champion, and that's how the ball got started rolling with that franchise bullshit. But I don't want to go down that road, man. We all know boxing politics. It is what it is. They're gonna give favorite treatment to their guys. Canelo is one of,
Lomachenko.
yeah, exactly. Lomachenko too. He didn't want to fight Devin. But real quick, man, let's go out to this poll right quick. I posed a question on my community page. Should Jamal Charlo fight David Benavidez? And 76% says yes, and 24% says no. We got a couple of motherfucking comments. God damn. I know we had this many. Okay, let me read them right quick. Everybody, thank you guys for supporting the channel. We got Mr. Cheesehead B. All hype ever since Hearn pulled his card. Charlo has been looking more of a clown than a champion. Let's not forget he admits rather move up than fighting Andrade. Is he saying it's been approved to move up? He ain't no boss. PBC puppet. These guys are harsh. God damn. Mr. Ardor says when he moves up, he should fight him eventually, but Callum Smith should get that shot first. I agree, man. Callum Smith does deserve that shot first. He got the WBC diamond belt for like 10 years now. Glenn Wilson says he can't fight him after he clears 160. He has to fight Andre, like we all been saying. Audacity says it doesn't make sense. It's hard for me to understand why he would feel inclined to move up when there are so many fights to make at middleweight. I was excited about the Eubank fight. Hopefully he moves up to test it out and then moves back down.
With that note there.
Go ahead.
There's guys at 154 that could move up to 160 that Jamal Charlo can fight, like Jared Hearn.
A lot of them.
You know, Jared Hearn's one. I don't know if Tony Harrison could do it, but
he's kind of skinny.
Yeah, he kind of skinny there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jared Hearn is one guy that could do it. If he wants, I know that Charlo won't be interested in it because he knocked him out, but J-Rock could still move up too. So there is that also.
But a lot of big dudes at 154 make a transition.
Rosario is a big dude at 154. So he can move up too.
I'm telling y'all, man, that 154 division, bro, it's a motherfucking, it's hell, bro. I don't give a fuck who you are. It is hell for anybody at 154, bro. Like that's one of the best divisions and toughest divisions in boxing.
Yeah, man. That division's like, they got a lot of good guys over there at 154 right now.
Yep, you got Israel, my dream off the dream. You know, baby Triple G coming up in the game.
We're gonna see how good he is, H-Bun. I know you a the zone guy, but we're gonna see how good he is. Let me see him because he's a bad motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. He got some power too. But
real quick, I had saw that fight. Since I'm like in the DC area currently right now, I saw that fight that Castano was in against Omatoso. What do y'all think of Castano?
Castano, man. Castellano, who fought Lara.
Yeah.
Castellano, man. He gotta get past Patrick Teixeira. I ain't gonna lie. Patrick showed me he was a fucking dog in that Adames fight. Cause I had Adames known. I was like, man, he's the top ranked fighter that they fight on ESPN, and he's all I've been hearing about for the longest. Patrick Teixeira had the different plans. He went out there and showed why he had the grit and shit. He damn near had Adames stopped in that fight because Adames was all over the place when he got caught with that. What was it, an uppercut or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's why they wanted Bud to fight him, huh?
Oh no, nigga, Bud gonna beat the hell out of that boy. Cause Bud already sparred. He already sparred Adames, and he was giving Adames work, my nigga. For real, it was in Gleason's gym. It's on YouTube. Check it out. Hardcore Boxing News says he needs a notable name on his belt. I agree. Rocky couldn't carry my jockstrap says yes, but I actually wanted to see him against Eubank Jr. This is Shiz 508 says no before he sees Andre at 160 or 168. Not before he sees Andre at 160 or 168. Detroit versus everybody says Charlo out here ducking and dodging. He ducked Andre at 154 and dodged him at 160. G Body Ride says he needs to give Korobov a rematch. Everybody's saying that. One Goku son says, let's see it. Get Benavidez by KO. And Anthony Jones says, man, if he win, it's hella props. I'd rather risk my O to Canelo, but if he can't get it, guess you got to move on with your career. That's it for the people out there, man. I appreciate everybody who left me a comment. Anything else y'all want to say before we move on from this topic?
Well, Mike, I do agree with you, man. He should take that Chris Eubanks fight. That's a big fight, man, and he got a big name, Chris Eubanks Jr. You know, his father was a great fighter, and he's big in the UK, man. I think he should fight Chris Eubanks. That'll be a good fight. And if he can't get no other fights at 160, then we want to see him move up. But right now, it looks like, man, he's not trying to take that Andrade fight, man. So, you know, he doesn't want that fight. You know, he wants Canelo. He wants Triple G, and if he can't get those fights, I think he should just probably take Chris Eubanks and then move up. But since he's the WBC world champion at 160, does that make him like the automatic number one contender when he moves up to 168 for Benavidez?
I don't believe so. I don't think that.
Well, I think he has to have a fight first. Pretty much how the whole thing with, I don't know how they did that thing with 154, but he was an IBF champ at 154, and then when he moved up to 160, they set him up with that fight with Heelan to make him the mandatory.
It just really, man, whatever Al Heyman tell these sanctioned bodies to do, they do it.
Yeah.
See, like Mike, for example, you know, when Tank Davis moved up to 135 pounds, I remember Bill Haney, Devin Haney's dad was saying, like, yo, Tank Davis, you already the number one contender. Yep. That's why I asked you that.
But they went to a different route to the WBA. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like, man, these guys know what they're doing, bro. Like, these guys know what they're doing. But before we move on, I just want to ask y'all one question, and y'all give me a real quick take on it. Do we think, let's just be real, from the outside looking in, has Eddie Hearn failed Demetrius Andrade?
No, I don't think so, Mike. You know, he made him a world champion with his first fight.
World champion.
You know when he fought he was supposed to fight Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah.
When he became a world champion when he fought that fight.
That ain't no different than what he already been at 154. He was already a world champion. What has Eddie Hearn done that Andre hasn't done before? He ain't got the Canelo fight. He ain't got the Billy Joe Saunders fight. He ain't got the Gennady fight. He ain't got Charlo. He been fighting Africans and guys from fucking Ireland that I don't even know. What's the dude's name that he just fought?
You talking about Sulecki? His last fight?
The fucking Irish dude.
The one that he fought in
Miami.
The Irish dude, man. The fucking sorry.
You talking about who his name? What's that motherfucker name?
Man, my bad. Go ahead. I'll look him up. Go ahead.
Damn, Luke Keeler.
Yeah, Luke Keeler, man. Luke, I should have been a pillar. God damn it. That motherfucker got knocked down the first 3 seconds of the fight, bro.
And Luke Keebler.
Well, Mike, I just want to say this: when he fought that first fight with DAZN, that was for the WBO world title? So he became a champion after that fight, right? I just want to.
Yes, exactly. But he hasn't gotten the big fights though.
Yes. So
everybody else looking around, man. Look around. Calvin Smith and Billy Joe Saunders was negotiated to get that Canelo fight. Daniel Jacobs got the Canelo fight.
Hey.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, I just want to say this. Eddie Hearn has helped build Demetrius Andrade's profile up. He has made him a multi-millionaire. He has made him one of the most popular fighters in the sport. Now people are talking about Demetrius Andrade as if he's the new boogeyman in boxing. And that wasn't the case until he got with Eddie Hearn. And I feel what you're saying, though, Mike. He needs to get in those big fights. But, I mean, Eddie Hearn is doing his job. He's sending these offers to Charlo, to Canelo, but nobody wants to fight him. He's getting ducked, Mike. Eddie Hearn can't force these guys to fight him.
Demetrius Andrade is the Dylan White of America. He's not getting the fights that he wants. He's not getting the big fights. He's a champion. He got an interim belt he ain't got an interim like Dylan White, but he's a champion, but he's not getting those fights that he needs to really propel his career.
My thing is, when it comes to Eddie Hearn and you talk about Demetrius Andrade, look what Eddie Hearn was able to do with Daniel Jacobs. Like you said, he was able to secure that fight with Canelo Alvarez. He was able to have the thing where he fought like Maciej Sulecki, and then he had the fight with Derevianchenko to win that IBF title before fighting Canelo, and he was able to secure a fight with Little Chavez, or I call him Little Chavez Jr., And Eddie Hearn was about to actually set up Daniel Jacobs against Callum Smith when he was,
Well,
on
that's that
one side.
Well, that's
You know,
at 168 pounds.
yeah, it's
Demetrius
168,
Andrade fights at 160.
160.
Those are
But
two different weight classes.
it's two different
Those
weight
are
classes.
those
But
are two different. That's two different
I
weight
see that.
classes. And I just want to say this, Mike. Eddie Hearn has been keeping Demetrius Andrade active. In 2019, he had fought 4 times. He also has
money. Being active is cool. He ain't fighting no goddamn body.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I can be active
Yeah.
against
We're
goddamn
talking
cab
about notable
drivers too.
fights.
Tevin Farmer's was hell of an active fighting General Carroll and guys that I don't fucking know. I don't want to see fucking bad fights, bro. There has not been a fight on the zone yet that I went into like, damn, Andre gonna have a tough fight. He ain't gonna win this fight, boy. It could be a 50-50 fight. Not one time.
I feel you, Mike, because these guys don't want to fight him. Triple G is ducking him. Canelo,
I agree.
Charlo, all these guys are ducking him.
I agree, but
yeah,
at the same time, if you're getting other guys fights, you got to give Demetrius Andrade. You got to make these guys say yes. But boxing, Swords, go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Nah, yeah, Mike, you were saying like with the thing with Daniel Jacobs, he's able to get those big fights regardless of what weight class it is for Daniel Jacobs, but he's not able to do the same thing with Demetrius Andrade. And it's either whether they're ducking him or not, it still needs to happen that Demetrius Andrade needs to be put into a position to have those fights, those notable fights at 160. The same thing happened, with Andrade, the same thing happened at 154. There are times where he could have had those fights at 154, but either they kind of like blew it, or it was like some other situation where he couldn't get fights with Jamel Charlo. Excuse me, because there was an instance that he was supposed to fight Jamel Charlo at 154, but with the contract issues that were going on between him and his father Paul Andrade, that fight fell through. And so, with that being said, you also have that factor of trying to deal with that as a fighter. Like I see Andre dealing with these guys like this, then why would I, try to get into a fight with him if he's gonna negotiate like that? So that's also one thing to consider.
I feel you. Leslo, real quick, you got anything you want to add to it? Not really.
These type of situations, that's why I be wanting a commission in boxing, man. Cause it's not fair that this person saying, well, no, I ain't gonna fight him. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even really giving no valid reason why. Y'all got y'all personal issues, okay? But like that should be even more reason to want to punch another motherfucker in the face, I would think.
I would think so too.
You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. They it frustrates you. That's my final thought. It should be frustrating the hell out of me. Because it's like, let's get these fights going, man. That's why people be jumping, trying to follow Canelo jumping weight class. Like, well, hell, fuck it. I just jump up here, fight this motherfucker. If I win or lose, it's a payday. Then once they start turning into paydays, you like, man, come on, man. We want to see some real boxing, man. Don't do the payday thing.
All right, guys, man. We got 2 more topics that we want to knock out right quick. The first one is going to be Dylan White. He says he favors Derek Chisora if he comes in motivated. And the reason why I chose to use these pictures right here, this is the second fight weigh-in for the Dylan White Chisora 2. And in this picture and at the weigh-in, I think everybody was very, very surprised on how Derek Chisora looked when he came to the weigh-in. The guy looks shredded, didn't look like a 34 or 35-year-old man. And I feel like if he can recreate this right here, this Derek Chisora right here, in the Usyk fight, I think he got a damn good chance of beating Usyk. Guys, I wasn't impressed when Usyk fought a Tablespoon or a Chad Witherspoon, whatever his name is. I wasn't impressed with it. No, I'm just being real with you. Like the fight wasn't, even though it got stopped. But I think did it get stopped?
Yeah,
he won by he stopped him. He won by TKO.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I think the guy more so quit than anything. But if Chisora comes in looking like this right here and he's motivated, I got a hard time believing that Usyk can beat Derek Chisora. That's just my opinion. What you guys think about it? Agent Money, start with you.
You said with me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, man, I gotta go with Usyk, Mike. I'm sorry, man. This guy is a world-class boxer, Olympic gold medalist. He has the fastest hands in the heavyweight division. The last undisputed champion in boxing. And like you said, his last fight against Chaz Weatherspoon, he won by TKO. He showed us that he can carry his power to the heavyweight division. I just think Usyk is too fast. He's too slick. His boxing IQ is too much for Derek Chisora. And I feel like Usyk, he showed us in the past that he can beat heavyweights. Like, even though he beat Michael Hunter in the cruiserweight division, but Michael Hunter is a heavyweight now. So he beat Michael Hunter. He beat Joe Joyce in the amateurs without headgear on. I just feel like Usyk is one of the best fighters in the world. And I think he's too fast, too slick. And I think he knocks out Chisora. I think Usyk knocks him out, so just to be honest with you.
All right, let's go.
Hey, I'm actually with the Usyk, man. He just, he too.
Am I
guess because he light.
What y'all see that I don't see? Go ahead.
Oh, he got them hands, man. He got them hands.
Definitely got them hands.
I think he got Chisora.
Can he keep Chisora off of him?
I think he will. I think that jab will.
Okay. Boxing source. Going once.
He might have stepped out, but Mike, you can't hit what your eyes can't see, man. I think.
Yeah, man. I understand that. Go ahead. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead.
Sorry, it's just the movement, Mike. Usyk is not a stationary target. He's not flat-footed. He's going to be moving around. So I can't see how Chisora could get up on him when Usyk is moving around like that. That's all I had.
Yeah, my bad.
Go ahead, boxing source.
Yeah, y'all were talking about the thing with Derek Chisora, and you bring up this picture here of white Chisora too. And yeah, Chisora was like, motivated in that particular bout or preparing for that. And, him being in that type of shape, being there with David Haye, that kind of like had people, looking at Derek Chisora like, whoa, like, you mean Chisora could be like that? And so, I mean, with that, then if he's, still preparing like that, then yeah, he's going to definitely give Usyk problems because Chisora is a, rough inside fighter. And if, the thing with Usyk in the heavyweight division, the problem with Usyk is that he's having those instances where he keeps getting hurt. And for me, with that being said, it's like, is he able to really handle being at heavyweight right now? Because if you are having these injuries, and that means that your body might not be able to take that extra weight that you're putting on to have these particular fights. So if they do go through with this particular fight, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Alexander Usyk as he's, going to be in the gym still trying to prepare for a fight against Derek Chisora. So that's what I had on that real quick.
All right, man. Last but not least, man, we got to talk about the king, man. The king who lost his crown, but hopefully we can get that motherfucker back. Deontay Wilder, man. It seems like, bro, people out there are surprised that Deontay Wilder is taking this fight, like his third fight. Like I read in an article, like him saying that people shouldn't be surprised if they know what kind of person that I am, that they knew that I was going to take this fight. It didn't even take me long to accept the fight, but most people out there believe that a second loss to Fury will end his career. Most people think that he's not even going to be competitive in his next fight with Fury. But I'm of the mindset, man. We all seen guys not have it on the night, and Wilder said he wasn't himself on that night. You know what I'm saying? I know people out there like, man, Mike, the guy's making 10,000 excuses and things like that. But hey, look, if you don't want to hear their excuses, then don't ask the question. Don't put the fucking camera in front of his face. But you guys did, so a story came out, and I just think, man, if Wilder can commit himself to learning with new people around and bringing in new people into his camp and really, really devise a game plan to beat Fury, then I think he can. And for all the naysayers out there saying that he shouldn't take this fight, let's just say he knows he's going to lose. So let's just play a hypothetical game. Let's just say he knows he's going to lose. My nigga, it's like $20 million on the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, what fool would not take that $20 million? Simple as that. But y'all go ahead, man. Take it away.
Liz, low up. Go for it, Liz.
Yeah, I don't even want to hear the excuses. I'd rather just, just say the man won.
Exactly.
You had an off night. It was obvious you had an off night. I mean, we see it from these fights, man. You remember like with Jerry Hearn and J-Rock.
Yes.
It was someone right about Hearn. You know what I'm saying? Because that wasn't his usual thing. AJ kind of with the Andy Ruiz. You know what I'm saying? Even though still give Andy Ruiz the pop for doing what he did.
You called it out.
Just say bump it, take the L because it's in the books. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much you try to reverse it, it's in the books. Forget it. Like, real boxing fans know after a loss or 2 or 3, you don't throw away a real fighter. Somebody good, they good, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it just get your ass in camp. Like you said, add new people. There's nothing wrong with adding new people. I mean, your folk who you been with brought you this far. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But to add some new flavor in there, obviously Tyson got your number. You know what I'm saying? It was close in the beginning, and then you lost the second one. So it's like you got to do something. You know what I mean? You got to do something.
Something got to change, man. Either bring in a new coach or just bring in somebody that been there before. You know what I'm saying? That has to come back like George Foreman. I think the George Foreman route is a damn good route to go because you guys have so many similarities. Like George Foreman was killing guys before Muhammad Ali got to him. Like if y'all see what George Foreman did to fucking Frazier, my God, yeah, that shit looked like he was gonna kill that man in the ring. So with that being said, like, bro, just pick his brain and just, man, don't underestimate Fury, bro. Like I understand, like you don't think he can punch and he got fella, but don't go into the ring underestimating this man again and simply think it's something that you did wrong. No, it got to be something that Fury did right too, homie. It has to be. H Money.
Hell yeah, Mike. Just to be honest, man, that fight with Tyson Fury, like, man, I know he took the loss, but I don't look at Tyson Fury like a true champion, Mike. You know what I mean? There's too much controversy around him. Like, we heard about the $25,000 he paid a farmer to hide a failed drug test.
You got proof on that?
I seen the articles. You know what I mean?
Proof, though. Articles just words. You got tangible evidence.
So it was no proofs on that.
It was a he said, she said. That's it.
Okay.
He said, she said. Ain't no bank statements that came out. Ain't no deposit statements that came out. Ain't even the fucking board meet that I didn't seen. So if ain't no proof, bro, just like them glove shit. JD ass and whoever else went over to Tyson Fury locker room, signed off on the motherfucking gloves. If they didn't have a problem with it, then why the fuck should we? You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm with y'all. The shit look funny. The shit look flimsy. I'm there with you. But at the same time, Nevada signed off on it. J. Diaz signed off on it.
I feel you, Mike. But just for me, like, how I feel about the situation is like, if Fury is such a good fighter, why he got all these speculations, all these rumors around him? I don't hear this about other fighters, you know what I mean? Other champions. I don't hear Joshua tampering with gloves. We hear about his sparring partner months before the Deontay Wilder rematch comes out, and he exposed Fury about tampering with the gloves in the sparring. Like, you know, this is not the first time we heard about Fury in the glove situation. You know what I mean? And also, you know, back in 2015, after I believe it was 2015, after he beat Klitschko, he tested positive on steroids, you know, and it's like, yo, why he got all these question marks behind his career. So, with all that being said, sure, he beat Deontay Wilder. I still feel like Deontay Wilder can come back in a rematch in the third fight and win. I feel he still got that right hand. He has the power. Like you said, if he does some tweaks in his training camp, get some better trainers in there, I think he can win the fight. You know what I mean? If he, like you said, get dedicated, stick to his jab, switch his game plan, push Fury back, be the aggressor in the fight, I'm going with Wilder. And no way if he loses this third fight, his career is over, man. I've seen plenty of fighters take 2 losses, 3 losses, come back. Mike Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas, did 3 years, came back. You know what I mean? It always happens. You know what I mean? So people trying to ride him off now, man. I'm not with that, man. Deontay Wilder got the heart of a champion, and I'm rolling with Wilder, man, till the wheels fall off.
I'm with you, man. Everybody takes losses, bro. 1, 2 losses don't make you as a fighter. Go ahead,
Hopefully everybody has spoken their piece in reference to this, because I did not expect this particular topic from Mike. I'm not sure.
What you mean?
If any, well, no, I was talking about, because I was like invited. I got the link from the Facebook chat, whatever it is. But there's
so you from the Facebook chat, nigga. This whole time, nigga, I'm thinking you from the goddamn me Google Hangout chat. All right, Facebook. I got you.
Yeah. So in that particular chat, there's a close a friend of mine there, Jamil, YSM Sports Media, and he will tell you this.
I was hoping Jamil was gonna hop his ass on.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But if he was on this chat, he would tell you that I am supposedly a Deontay Wilder hater. Okay. Now, I'm gonna preface my thing with this in reference to what y'all are saying. Tyson Fury did what he needed to do from December 1st, 2018 to February 22nd, 2020 to defeat Deontay Wilder. On the flip side, Deontay Wilder did not do much at all in order to prepare himself to fight Tyson Fury. Okay? One of the biggest things that happened was when Tyson Fury declined to have that immediate rematch with Deontay Wilder, because when he did that and he signed with Top Rank, he got the people that were behind him to make him prepare for that fight with Deontay Wilder, having all the resources that Top Rank has, and then also going over to Krog Gym to prepare with Sugar Hill Stewart. So you have somebody in Tyson Fury that wasn't necessarily all the way back on December 1st, 2018, and he was able to do what he was able to do against Deontay Wilder then, and then take that with preparing for about a year, almost a year and a half, get himself into, full boxing shape, and then having Sugar Hill Stewart on his camp to work on offense when he already had the head movement, the length, and the reach that Deontay Wilder has never dealt with over the course of his professional career. That to me says that if Deontay Wilder could not take him out on December 1st, 2018 and gets beaten the way that he did in February 22nd, 2020, I do not see Deontay Wilder defeating Tyson Fury on October 3rd or whenever they have that particular fight, because there isn't much that Deontay Wilder could do at this particular point of his career that could necessarily prepare him for what Tyson Fury has for him, because Fury has all of the resources that he needs in order to defeat Deontay Wilder. And on the flip side, even with a guy like the likes of a George Foreman or anything like that, he would need that same type of time that Tyson Fury had in order for Wilder to really properly prepare to fight Tyson Fury. And having an immediate rematch is not going to be a good look for him. I know that, I know that Wilder has a lot of pride and everything like that. He's one of the most prideful fighters that are out there right now. But sometimes pride comes before the fall. And if he goes right back in there, I'm telling you, it's not going to be a good look for him, because he has to really change up his game in order to have more success against Tyson Fury in that third fight.
Let me ask you one simple question real quick. Did you see Andy Ruiz beating AJ? And just be honest with me. Don't give me the Monday morning quarterback. I'm not talking about
right at that time, June 1st, 2019.
No, I ain't talking about June 1st. I'm talking about April when the fight got announced. Like
when the fight got announced, no. But I said June 1st. No.
And
but
you said, let me finish. Let me
all right,
finish.
go ahead and finish.
You said you can't see Deontay Wilder beating Tyson Fury.
Yep.
And everybody on this panel, I think, except for Liz Lowe, had AJ beating Ruiz comfortably. What I'm saying is boxing is the theater of the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen until the fight actually takes place. And there's upsets in boxing, and there are comeback stories in boxing. And to say that Deontay Wilder can't be one of those things, it's kind of tough, man, for me to agree with. But go ahead.
Okay. Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was preparing to fight Jarrell Miller real quick. We know that. After that, he could have fought Luis Ortiz. He was hanging out every single day in New York City before that particular fight with Andy Ruiz Jr. Okay, I saw him at Pier 40.
Yeah, he was training down
hours
in Miami
before the fight.
Oh, he saw him at Pier 40 hours before the fight.
Yeah, hours before the fight. Yeah, he was chilling out at Pier 40 hours before the fight. After that particular fight, he was still.
For everybody like me who don't know what the fuck Pier 40 is, please explain. Is that a club? Is that a dock or something like that? What is that?
It's a dock, but the thing about it is like
so he got to get fresh air.
Like he's not completely, into his whole thing about having that particular fight because he was walking in there like he was just gonna, wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, like
but even after the fight was over, Joshua was still in New York City for like a week and a half. Like he was like taking the whole thing in, like, oh my God, this is New York City. Wow. Like he was like, mystified at the vision of New York City. But when he left all of that, and then he took himself and he said, look, I know what I did wrong. I did this, I did that. Let me work on this. Let me slim down. Let me, work on my, craft and things like that. But he already had those particular skills in him that said that I have the ability to beat the likes of an Andy Ruiz. So he pretty much said, okay, in that third round, yeah, I was able to knock him down, but I got too greedy. So next time, you know what? I'm not going to go in there and slugging it out against a guy that has fast hands and has a shorter reach than me. Why would I get up close with the guy that has shorter reach than me and not use my reach? That's not a good look. So in that second fight, all he did was just take his time, use his reach, do the basic 1-2s, and just keep with that and not be fighting Andy Ruiz on the inside. Because if he's not going to fight Ruiz on the inside, then Ruiz is not going to be able to catch him. Now, on the flip side with Wilder, do you think that Wilder has more skills within him than Tyson Fury does?
Short answer, I would say no. No, okay. I wouldn't. I would say no, but athletic ability, I would say yes.
Athletic, okay. I keep hearing that term when it comes to Deontay Wilder is athletic ability.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, what does that mean in the ring?
Fast twitchies, you know what I'm saying? The ability to motherfucking recognize things and do it in a manner that's like this. Like the way he hit Brazil was like this. It wasn't even like a thought, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's where your athletic ability comes into place, where you're able to do things a little bit quicker than everybody else.
Okay.
Yo, Mike, can I
go ahead.
Yo, I just gotta say, man, like you trying to ride Deontay Wilder off after one fucking loss, man. First of all, Deontay Wilder got that equalizer. He's the biggest puncher in boxing, man. Put some respect on his name. He's the longest defending heavyweight.
It ain't nothing personal, man. My guy just giving his opinion.
But he's trying to ride him off after one loss.
Everybody's trying to ride him off. He's not. He's not speaking for himself.
To go. Mike, he came in, saying I'm known as a Deontay Wilder hater, and that's what he sounded like. You know what I mean?
That's I just want to opinion, my nigga. Everybody got their opinion. Everybody got their opinion. Everybody not. I got news for you, brother. Everybody's not gonna like Devin Haney. Sorry.
Let him go. I want him to continue on this.
Hold up. Hey, Mike, I'm just saying this. When Tyson Fury was in that fight with Otto Wallen, he wasn't talking that shit. Oh, he's this and he's that. When Tyson Fury was struggling with Otto Wallen, now all of a sudden Tyson Fury get a win, and you over here, just coattail riding this dude. All I gotta say is this, man. Deontay Wilder can come back and get the victory. We seen Lennox Lewis get knocked out by Hakeem Rahman, come right back, and Lennox Lewis knocked him out. You know what I mean? We seen Muhammad Ali lose to Leon Spinks, immediate rematch, came back, avenged his defeat. It happens in boxing. It happens. You know what I mean? So Deontay Wilder, he still got that right hand. He's still the most devastated puncher in boxing, and all it takes is one punch. You know what I'm saying? That's all it takes. So you can't count him out at all. You can't count out a puncher in the sport of boxing because it only takes one punch, and he always got a puncher's chance.
Okay. I see what you're getting at with this in reference to Deontay Wilder. So I'm going to go back in time, right? 2018, when Tyson Fury came back and he fought a cruiserweight in Sefer Safari, and then he had this little other exhibition fight, okay? Deontay Wilder was basically heavily favored in that first fight against Tyson Fury, right? Now, you say that Deontay Wilder has that one punch. Now, on two separate occasions, Deontay Wilder knocked down Tyson Fury. And I keep asking this question for people in reference to Deontay Wilder. And I say, okay, if Deontay Wilder was able to knock down Tyson Fury twice in that fight over at the Staples Center, why couldn't he finish him off at that particular juncture where Tyson Fury had not necessarily, quote unquote, came all the way back? Wilder knocked him down twice. Fury got up, and Wilder still wasn't able to finish him. So if he has that one punch, then he should have been able to finish Tyson Fury in that particular fight on December 1st, 2018, and he was not able to do that. So with me, when it comes to the comparison of Wilder and Fury, like Fury knows how to neutralize that right hand right now. So Deontay Wilder at this particular point needs a plan B in order to get to Tyson Fury so that he will be able to seriously hurt him and ultimately finish him. But if he doesn't have that plan B, he's not going to be able to defeat Tyson Fury.
And one thing that I have to say that I agree with the boxing source, like Deontay gonna have to figure out a way to disguise that right hand a little bit more, because you can see it. Like if I can see it coming, I know damn well Fury can see it coming, because he always does that little twitch, throws a jab, then comes with the right hand. He always does that, man. Like you can tell by his feet turn, like the way his feet turn, you can tell that right hand finna come out. So with that being said, if he can develop a game plan with his trainers and people that are around him to try to disguise their right hand a little bit more and do more inside fighting and do more cardio, brother. You got to do more cardio too. You got to improve that core.
Yes.
If your core gets stronger, then I feel like he will get stronger. And with that being said, like he can't just come in to another Fury fight expecting to land that right hand and that be the only thing to do. H Money, I agree with you that right hand is the equalizer, but he has to set it up a little bit better.
Yes, definitely. Boxing Source just said that Deontay Wilder, he said he doesn't have one punch knockout power, 42 wins, 41 knockouts. What are you talking about? And then you say he knocked. Wait, hold up. I'm speaking. You said that Deontay Wilder. You said in the first fight why he didn't finish him off. First of all, we seen in that first fight Wilder can hurt him and Wilder can put him down. Tyson Fury barely got up. He barely got up in that final round. You know what I'm saying? The only reason he survived, bro, he got a long count. First of all, he got a long count, and it was in the 12th round. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, man, Deontay Wilder showed he can hurt him once. He gonna do it again. So how you gonna count him out when he showed you he can hurt Fury? You acting like Fury is invincible. First of all, after Fury got it, he got in that fight with Otto Wallen. I know for damn sure you wasn't saying Fury was gonna beat Wilder. Now all of a sudden Fury get a little win, a controversial win. Now you all of a sudden you the biggest Fury fan with your pom-poms out. Come on, man. I see right through that fake ass shit.
Here, once again, let me run this by you. You didn't necessarily answer the question that I posed to you.
I just
Now,
answered your question.
okay. So if that's your answer, here's my thing. In the 9th round of December 1st, 2018, Deontay Wilder knocked down Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury got up from that knockdown. Okay. After that particular knockdown, Deontay Wilder didn't do what was needed in order to finish that particular fight. That's number one. Round 10, Deontay Wilder didn't do what was needed to do in order to finish that fight. We go to round 12, where he basically hits Tyson Fury with the right hand. Tyson Fury ducks down but goes back, and then Wilder follows up with that left hand, and Fury goes down. He gets up at the count of 9. Again, there was some time in that 12th round for Deontay Wilder to finish off Tyson Fury, and he did not do that. My thing is, Deontay Wilder had 2 opportunities on December 1st, 2018 to leave no doubts that he could finish off Tyson Fury, and he didn't do that. Now, when it comes to this particular fight with Otto Wallin, okay, Fury had to deal with Otto Wallin going in the inside and brawling him on the inside. Now, after that, what did Tyson Fury do? He didn't keep Ben Davison in his corner, and he hired Sugar Hill Stewart in his corner. Okay. And when he did that, he was basically doing that to work on his offensive game, because he already had the defense down packed, especially when it comes to Deontay Wilder. If he felt like he could time Deontay Wilder and what Deontay Wilder's patterns were, then he didn't necessarily need to work on his defense. He just wanted to work on his offense. And so leading into that particular fight, Tyson Fury said, you know what? I'm going to come in bigger. I'm going to walk him down. I'm going to force him to fight off his back foot. He can't fight off his back foot. And with that being said, I'm going to walk him down and I'm going to beat him down. And that's exactly what he did. Now,
well, first of all, you saying his defense? You saying his defense was so good in that first fight? He didn't need no help on his defense, but he got dropped twice. So how could you say his defense was just sharp like that when he got his ass knocked down twice?
Once again, I will say this again. Did Deontay Wilder finish off Tyson Fury on December 1st, 2018? No. So, with that being said, you go into the second fight. Yeah, Deontay Wilder says, oh, I'm this, I'm that. I got the right hand. I'm undefeated. I've knocked out pretty much everybody that I've faced. So I'm going to do the same to Tyson Fury. Well, Tyson Fury says, you weren't able to finish me off on December 1st, 2018 when I wasn't even 100%. What makes you think that you're going to be able to do this now when I'm at 100%? And he did what was needed to be done in order to defeat Deontay Wilder at that particular time. Deontay Wilder has to be able to go into the vault, watch the tapes, and see what he needs to do in order to defeat Tyson Fury, because he only has 6 months to do it. He doesn't have a year plus to do it like Tyson Fury does. He only has 6 months. And we got to see if Deontay Wilder can do what needs to be done in 6 months in order to defeat Tyson Fury, even if he has to go back to that first fight that he had with Severn, because that fight was where a lot of people felt like Deontay Wilder had the overall talent and the ability to be a viable and formidable world champion. It had nothing to really do about his knockout power. It's about what he could do as a guy that's 6'7" that has a long reach and can throw punches. But he's not been able to do that for a good amount of time now because he's been relying on that right hand. He can't do that anymore. Against Tyson Fury, that's not going to happen. He's going to need something else.
Real quick, Agent Money, I'm gonna let you get the last word on this, but we're about to get ready to end this show. Go ahead and give out your last word.
I just gotta say this, man. You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder showed us that he could hurt Tyson Fury once in the first fight. Matter of fact, he showed us he can hurt him twice in that first fight. So just keep that same energy when that third fight comes around. When Deontay Wilder knock his cheating ass out, he gonna knock the Fury a fucking cheater, man. You know what I'm saying? We gonna serve his ass up, bro. Send his ass back to the UK, fucking steroid addict, bro.
And I guess you guys can agree to disagree. You know what I'm saying? Both of you guys got passionate points about Wilder and Fury, and I really think you guys should possibly do a show of just the two of you guys. You know what I'm saying? Going back and debating Wilder and Fury. It makes for damn good entertainment. But with that being said, if you guys got any social media you guys want to give out, any YouTube pages you guys want to give out, go ahead and do that now, please. Liz Lowe, start with you.
Appreciate it, man. Well, my channel is the same for everything. Well, I'm just on Instagram and YouTube. It's The Fans Corner. The basis behind my channel is simple. I like to interview fans, get their perspective on the game, the fighters. You know, I try to stay away from the fighters and the promoters and all that, and just get back to the fans so we can get the fights that we really want.
H Money.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at H Money, Mr. DAZN, man. Just type me in. I'll pop up, man. Shout outs to Mike on Sports, man. Appreciate it, Mike, giving me the opportunity. And Mike, you know, man, we rocking out with Wilder, man. You know what I'm saying? Fury, bro, well-known cheater, bro. Glove gates, steroids, all of that good stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? We on his ass, man. Real talk.
The boxing source, man. Go ahead, B-Dog.
Hey, shout out to Mike on Sports. Went ahead and subscribed to your channel. So hey, y'all support Mike on Sports. Y'all support H Money, Mr. DAZN. Y'all support Liz Lowe and his channel. Have the Boxing Source on YouTube. Also on Facebook, and I do have a podcast every Sunday, 7:30 p.m. live, but it's also on iTunes and Anchor.fm. So y'all be able to check that out, but be sure to support all of the people that are here on this particular live session. So we want to keep the sport of boxing alive, and this is how we do it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. And y'all already know what it is with me. Yo, Mike, drop that beat on him.